summarize where we're up to in Cosmos. The project, as I said, is coming to an end. You've heard considerable amounts about some of the major outputs, and I would emphasize the major outputs from Cosmos. We've heard about the Cosmos database, which really is a unique way of showing data and being able to search and link chemistry and toxicity in a freely available database, and we're going to move this forward in terms of chemical or data sharing. You've just heard the description of the TTC dataset, and one thing which I don't think really came out of that was as well that was done with an LCEU expert group, so it brought in outside experts from regulatory agencies, industry and elsewhere to provide help with the quality control. You've heard a lot this morning and this afternoon about the final two bullet points. Firstly, our in silico approaches for toxicity and ADME and biokinetics predictions. And I hope we've tried to put this in a context that you can see why we're doing this and how they could be applied. And you'll have seen, particularly with issues such as the read across, that we're supporting and have supported approaches and techniques to apply these technologies. So it's one thing producing the model, but then we're looking at frameworks and strategies to enable us to use these and to make predictions, and as you've seen with the example of read across, how we can pull the information together, identify uncertainties and support the reduction in uncertainties to help us model again toxicity and effect. So you've had some experience or had some sight at least of the Cosmos workflows. There's more information on the Cosmos leaflets that you've got there. It's important to note as well that the workflows, when complete at the end of the year, can be downloaded or used through the web portal. Probably what you didn't really experience as much as you might have done is the documentation. So the model itself is described as well as how to use it with user guidance. And over the last couple of days, as so many of the consortium are here, there's been an effort to create web tutorials, and they'll be made available through Cosmos Space and YouTube. And the purpose there is, certainly I believe it's easier to watch for 2 or 3 minutes someone explaining how to use the model than trying to use a user guide. We haven't really discussed, but Cosmos has been also very proactive in putting this information out. I mean, this is one part of the process, as is the web broadcast, as is the recording of today's event. I did this slide this morning and I was surprised there are actually now over 100 publications of different sorts arising from Cosmos, at least 25 peer-reviewed journal articles with a lot more to come. Many conference presentations. Probably the highlight for me at least was a session we had last year in Phoenix at the SOT, where we had a room packed out, 200 or 300 people there to actually close the doors on the first day of SOT, highlighting the progress made in Cosmos and also our interactions, particularly with the US FDA. We have some webinars which we've already produced, available, which links through the website to describe in more detail the database and the TTC and the biokinetics, and the web tutorials will form a permanent legacy. In terms of legacy, for some time, well over a year ago, we discussed how are we going to continue this in the future and sustain it. Part of this was formed into a plan. So clearly our legacy will be in terms of publications, discuss those. Some of the methods will go to the Joint Research Centre's DBBARM, which is the Database of Alternative Methods, and as well QSAR is going to the QSAR database, so they will be permanently recorded. We've talked about and you've seen evidence of the tutorials and educational webinar. Chemical lists going to JRC's Chi list. The 9 workflows you've seen evidence of, and although you didn't see it in action because of the problems with WebEx, the flat presentations of the complete Cosmos database will be available. So As you've heard, you can download those, you can use those for your own purposes. In various ways, we've ensured the support of Cosmos Database, Cosmos Space, and the 9 web portal beyond 2015. And we're very much aiming to use Cosmos Database, Cosmos DB, as a platform, as we say there, to compile, harvest, and share toxicity data. And if there are people in the room who wish to donate data or are interested in getting involved in this, what we assume will be a no-cost activity, or people online, then please do contact us. With that, I must acknowledge, as we all have done, the funding, the excellent funding from the European Commission and Cosmetics Europe. Also input of many, many people who were not funded to be part of Cosmos, who ended up being part of Cosmos through various ILSI working groups, blackmail, all sorts of other techniques which we had to employ. I'm grateful for your attendance today, particularly those of you online. I was amazed when some who I know are in North America were seemingly up before I was this morning to join us, so thank you very much for that.